You've heard nice guy syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. People pleasing behavior, putting other people's convenience and needs before yourself. And this is what, again, a lot of guys struggle with, because on the spectrum, let's say there's a spectrum, and let's say you've got extreme nice guy, excessive empathy. Okay. So that makes you someone who's considerate about someone else's reality, but excessively. You're too empathetic. Let's say on the other side of the spectrum, you've got extreme self-centeredness, extreme narcissism. These guys don't give a fucking shit about what anyone thinks, what women. That's going to serve you more in terms of being able to be forthcoming and direct and lead. However, it's not good for the world. So coming over into the middle and putting your needs forward first. So when you're thinking, oh, like I'm creating pressure for the girl and she doesn't want me here, and I don't want to unnerve her, and I don't want to scare her, and I don't want to keep talking to her if she's not actually interested. That's possible, but what's likely, especially if you're approaching right and she's single, which there's a lot of single girls out there. There's a lot of single girls who want to meet the right guy. You're already rejecting yourself because you're too hypervigilant. You're too reactive to that situation where you're thinking about how she feels. So I'm not saying become this pig-headed, crazy, maniacal, narcissistic guy that doesn't give a fuck and just takes everything. But you've got to like put yourself in the middle somewhere and start going for what you want and not giving a fuck about not just what other people think, but what your mind is telling. Because it's the woman's not telling you that. The woman's not telling you, oh, you're making me feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to be approached today. Your mind is telling you that.
Yeah.
So it's a projection in the mind. You've got to become conscious to that. And then we talk more about this, integrate what we call the warrior in my program. Because the warrior integration is that conversational answer back in your head, where the focus in your mind is what you're proud of, the fact that you're going for what you want. And you're questioning and you're breaking down the absurdity that you're doing anything wrong in the first place, because that's going to cause you to hesitate. But if you're unconscious to that and your mind's just going, you're making her unnerved, you shouldn't be doing this, there's a lot of shame and you feel guilty and you feel like overly conscientious about her reality too much. You should check in and make sure she looks comfortable. But if that's completely holding you back from just going for what you want, saying, should we go out tonight, it's cool to get your number, you're really cute, you go to the gym, you look like you work out, because you think you're going to creep her out. It's like you're never going to be able to be that confident, forthcoming, dominant man. So you've got to move over from excessive empathy into some level of self-investment, some level of like the focus of your reality, and the way that you communicate to women is also serving what you want to get out of it. That's not selfish. That's what we call healthy narcissism. Building a relationship with your own desires, your own goals, your own focuses, your own inspirations. Because if you hold back and you resist and you always put other people's needs first and you try and please them and try and micromanage everyone's expectations of you, typical nice guy syndrome, you're never going to build confidence. So like I said, don't become pig-headed and arrogant and ignorant, but start to fucking put your needs first also. If that woman is not comfortable, she's going to say that at some point, or you're going to read it. But you've got to question, what's the reality when you're talking to that woman? When you first approach her, like, is it actually reality that she's uncomfortable and she didn't want to be approached today and she's really hating your company? Or is it that your mind's telling you that could be, and then that's killing your confidence, that's making you go in your head and stifle your words and stutter and be apologetic in your demeanor? Apologeticness is going to get you blown out or get you flaky numbers. Make sense? Yeah, so become an arsehole. No. It will feel like that to an excessively empathetic person. But all it is cultivating, putting in your mind, what is important to you? What are your values? Because you're on a self-development journey. Courage is important to you, I'm assuming. That's why you're here. You've done a lot more than most guys who just sit there behind the screen. So clearly courage is important to you. That's a value of yours. So healthy narcissism is actions completely in alignment with your values. But they've got to be rock solid values that you're rehearsing, you're thinking about. Because when I could talk to you about this now and it might, oh, that makes sense. I know where I am on the GPS now. I know what I need to be thinking about. But then you go out into the real world, it all falls out the window. You go all reactive and rabbit in headlights and don't know where you are. So